In this question, you need to evaluate the four functions: y equals x squared, y equals 0.1x squared, y equals 4x squared, and y equals negative 1/2 x squared, and determine which ones open the widest and which ones open the narrowest. We can do that by evaluating each one of their a values. A values greater than 1 and less than negative 1 provide narrow graphs. Those are called expansions. A values in between negative 1 and positive 1 provide wider graphs. Those are called compressions. Okay, so let's get started. Our first function, y equals x squared, has an a value of 1. Therefore, it's neither an expansion nor a compression. It's just our basic function. Y equals 4x squared is an expansion. It has an a value of 4 and is therefore expanded times 4. Y equals 0.1x squared has an a value of 0.1 and is therefore quite a compression. It compresses everything by a factor of 0.1. And lastly, we have y equals negative 1/2 x squared. Again, another compression because our a value is in between negative 1 and positive 1. It compresses all values by a factor of negative 1/2. Okay, so our widest graph is going to be the 0.1x squared. The next widest is going to be the negative 1/2 x squared. Then we have the basic function. And lastly, we know that the 4 is going to be quite an expansion on our x squared. And therefore our narrowest graph is going to be that y equals 4x squared. Let's check all of these answers using our graph. Y equals 0.1x squared has an a value of 0.1. We can see that it is quite wide. Okay, good. Now let's try negative 1/2. So our a value of negative 1/2 is also wide and a compression, but not quite as wide as the 0.1 was. Okay, so that's good. Now let's try an a value of 1. That's just our basic function. Again, we're getting narrower each time. And lastly, even narrower is going to be when we have an a value of 4. So our graphs seem to prove that our order is right. Let's check our answer.